The running shoes were placed neatly at the bottom of the closet, their laces tied in perfect, symmetrical bows.
I threw these away.
She had placed them in the outside trash bin 3 weeks ago. They were covered in mud from the Smuggler's Creek Trail. Now, they were clean.
You're just forgetting things again. You washed them and forgot.
She closed the closet door. She told herself it was nothing. It was the kind of thing you explain away at the time. Anna had moved to the isolated cabin near the Appalachian foothills to rebuild her life. She worked as an archivist at the local historical society. Her routine was precise. Every morning at 6 a.m., she brewed coffee.
Every evening at 5:30 p.m., she locked her doors. Her coworker, Ben, often watched her from his desk. He was a quiet man who rarely spoke, but his eyes lingered a half second too long. "You live out by the old creek, right? It gets dark out there."
I like the quiet, Ben.
She walked away quickly. She didn't like the way he asked. Her only real comfort was Tommy. They had known each other since middle school. When she decided to move, Tommy was the one who helped her pack. He was the one who found the cabin. "I just want to make sure you're safe, Annie. After everything that happened in the city."
I know, Tommy. Thank you.
What Anna didn't know yet was that the cabin's isolation wasn't a feature Tommy had found. It was a requirement he had chosen. The wrongness accumulated slowly. On a Tuesday, Anna came home to find her coffee cup on the left side of the sink. She always placed it on the right.
I must have been rushing this morning.
On a Thursday, the window she always left cracked for fresh air was shut tight and locked.
The wind probably blew it shut.
She mentioned her unease to Tommy over dinner.
It's just your nerves acting up.
"But if it makes you feel better, I can come over tomorrow and install some new deadbolts. Top of the line."
You do that for me?
That's what I'm here for. She made a decision that seemed reasonable at the time. She gave him her spare key so he could work while she was at the archives. The next evening, the new locks were installed. Heavy, solid steel. No one is getting in here now, I promise you that. 3 days later, Anna called in sick to work. A severe migraine kept her in bed. At 10 a.m., the house was completely silent. Then, she heard it. A soft, rhythmic sound. It wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from beneath the floorboards.
It's just the old pipe settling.
But the sound didn't stop. It sounded like breathing. Slow, deliberate. She crept out of bed. She followed the sound to the hallway closet. She pulled back the rug. There was a seam in the wood. A hidden access hatch to the crawl space.
Don't open it. Call the police.
But her phone was in the kitchen. She lifted the heavy wooden panel just an inch. The smell hit her first. Stale sweat and cheap cologne. Tommy's cologne. She pulled the hatch open fully. The crawl space wasn't empty dirt. It was furnished. There was a sleeping bag, food wrappers, and a desk with 3 glowing monitors.
Oh, God.
The monitors displayed live feeds. Her bedroom, her kitchen, her shower. Beside the monitors was a notebook. She climbed down, her hands shaking so violently she could barely hold the pages. It was a log.
Tuesday, 6:15 a.m. She left the mug on the right. I moved it to the left to see if she'd notice. Thursday, 8 a.m. Shut the window. She blamed the wind.
He hadn't been protecting her from the outside world. He had been testing her awareness, conditioning her. Then she heard the crunch of gravel outside. Tommy's truck. "Annie, I brought soup. Ben said you called in sick." Anna scrambled out of the hatch, pulling the rug back over it. She ran to the front door to escape. She grabbed the new deadbolt Tommy had installed. She turned it. It didn't move. She looked closer at the mechanism. There was no thumb turn on the inside.
It required a key to open, from both sides.
He didn't lock the world out. He locked me in.
Annie! Why is the door locked? Open up! His voice wasn't friendly anymore. It was cold, patient.
I can't find my keys, Tommy.
That's okay. I have mine. She heard the metal key slide into the lock. Anna didn't hesitate. She grabbed a cast iron pan from the stove and hurled it through the kitchen window. Glass shattered outward. She dove through the jagged frame, tearing her arms and legs. She hit the cold dirt outside just as the front door swung open. Anna! She ran into the woods. She didn't stop until she reached the highway and flagged down a passing car. When the police arrived at the cabin, the hidden hatch was open. The monitors were smashed. The notebook was gone. Tommy was gone too. He was never charged. His truck was found abandoned near the state line 3 weeks later. The police told Anna she was safe now. They said he wouldn't risk coming back. Anna moved to a secure apartment building in a new city. She still checks her locks twice before bed, because she knows he still has the key.